Hi, and congratulations on your 2021 Nissan Sentra SV. This is an absolutely amazing car. I love the drive of this. The changes that they made last year are remarkable, but you already know that. That's why you bought the car. So let's do a quick review of the features that you've got with this. Hopefully you'll understand everything and you can work everything great after that. But if you still have questions, all of my contact info will follow, so please don't hesitate to reach out. Let's have a look. On our infotainment system here, which is where we're going to start, we've got a beautiful 8-inch touchscreen display here. And I can see I've got my phone, AM, FM, satellite radio, Bluetooth. USB is not quite lit up. When we go in and have a look, I've got AM, FM, satellite is free for the first 3 months. After that, if you don't want it, don't do anything. It should just stop. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. USB 1 and 2, which we have down below here. 1 is a Type-C, 2 is your traditional USB. Bluetooth, auxiliary. Now what we don't see here, because they have not yet been hooked up, is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which do come free with this as well. Android Auto, if you're going to use it, you have to download the app first from the App Store, and then you're good to go. I'm going to go back a screen here. In my settings, if I want to set up a phone, I'm going to go to Connections, and then I'm going to hit Add New. From there, on my phone, I'm going to go into the Settings, Connections, Bluetooth, and then I'm looking for my Sentra. If you have an Apple phone, you're going to tap on it, and when it pops up with the number to pair, just confirm the number is okay, press pair, and then when the first message pops up, press allow. That will allow your address book to download onto the screen. If you have an Android phone, you're going to do a very similar process. You're going to press OK for the number to pair up, then you're going to press allow twice for the 2 messages that pop up. Now, with an Android phone, if you do have a lock screen, you need to, once you're done that, back out to the main settings screen. Go down to either security or lock screen, whichever it is. From there, you're going to go into smart lock. You're going to add a trusted device, and you're going to add my Sentra. If you don't do this, you're not going to make the end of your parking lot before it ends up disconnecting your phone. So let's back out of here. Sound settings, where I normally set them, looks like this in the Sentra, just for really nice sound quality. And then down below, my speed sensitivity is all the way up. It's up to you how you want to set it, and feel free to set it any way that you want. Down below here, I've got my dual climate control, so I can set it however I want. Right now it's synced, but if I change the style, I see 2 different temperatures. Pressing the sync button will set it all back to the driver's side temperature. Heated seats are right here. You can see this one is on high. Then there's low and off. When this is on auto, it's automatically going to do what it has to get you up or down to the temperature set as fast as possible, meaning it will adjust your fan speed accordingly and where your airflow is going. Once it starts getting close to that temperature, then again, it will do what it has to just maintain that temperature. Down below, we have our USBs along with a 12-volt power port where you can plug in an adapter. We've got our start-stop button, which you put your foot on the brake, push that to start it. Same thing to stop it, just put it into park and then push that to turn it off. Now, a couple things I want to show you. First is reverse. And we can hear right away, we've got the sonar that's going to go with one of the safety features we'll talk about later. Green, yellow, and red hash marks on this. When I'm in drive, I can see down here I'm in drive. It shows me up on the screen here, but I'm going to push a button on the back of my gear shift here, and that's going to show up with a little S down beside my drive. That means I'm in sport mode. So if I'm on a highway, I'm losing my passing lane, I want to get out and around somebody in a hurry, I'm just going to push that little button to go into sport mode. Sport mode is going to change how my vehicle reacts. My RPMs over here will rev a little bit higher, and I'm going to have a little more torque or responsiveness on the motor. Don't forget to take it back out of sport mode once you're all done, because that is harder on gas. Here on my steering wheel on the right hand side, I've got my cruise control, which turns on here. From there, I can set, resume, cancel, but I also have adaptive cruise control. So with this on my screen, I can see somebody has already set this one on 1 car length plus safe distance. I'm going to use this button here to reset it back to 3, or I can reduce it to 2 or 1. Just as an example, 1 car length plus safe distance at 100 kilometers per hour is approximately 2.5 car lengths. I suggest that you start with it at full length if you're not familiar with adaptive cruise. After that, you're probably going to drop it down to 2, and if you get very comfortable with it, you may even drop it to 1. Now I'm going to turn my cruise back off, and now I'm just going to press and hold this button rather than just pressing it. Now I have normal cruise. It's no longer adaptive cruise. As soon as I turn the cruise off and then turn it back on, I'm back into adaptive cruise again. Also down here is my Bluetooth hands-free. So this button is going to answer a call or hang up a call. This is going to allow me to make an outbound call. Now, depending on the type of phone that you have, if you press and hold this button, you will get the voice recognition system for your phone. So on an iPhone, you'll get Siri. On an Android, you'll get Google Assistant if you have it. From there, you can use your phone voice recognition system to operate anything to do with your phone. On the left side of the wheel, I have my volume for the radio, which works very well and very easily. Down below here, I have buttons that'll go through my presets. Now I am going to set my home screen back where it was, because on my home screen, which is controlled by the OK button with the arrows around it, I see a digital speedometer and my radio info. Now I can see I'm on preset number 12. I'm going to press the left arrow here to go down to preset 11, then 10, and so on. And the right arrow takes me back up. Now my OK button with the arrows around it is going to control everything that I see on the screen here. I'm on the home screen. I've got a digital speedometer as well as my radio info, but I also see up and down arrows over here, meaning if I press down, I now have my digital speedometer and an average speed. And I can press and hold the OK button to reset the average. Now if I hit down again, I'm on a blank screen, which we'll get rid of in a couple of minutes, and then one more is going to put me back at the digital speedometer. My next screen over to the right shows my fuel economy, which is running exceptionally high, and we will see why in just a moment. I can press OK to reset it, but we're not going to just yet. Next screen over, my tire pressure will show up here once I start to drive, and it'll show me all four wheels individually. From there, no matter what screen I'm on, if I get a low tire, it's going to pop up with a warning that tells me low tire pressure, and it's going to tell me what the exact pressure of the tire is. I want to go to a gas station or a service station, somewhere that's got an air pump. I'm going to leave the vehicle running, and then I'm going to take the hose and go to the tire that it says needs air and start putting air in. Now, because the vehicle is running, when you get up to the correct pressure, the horn is going to beep once to tell you to stop. If for some reason you kept putting air in or went to the wrong tire, there is an upper limit. When you hit this upper limit, the horn will beep 3 times to tell you to stop. Please stop putting air in your tire at that point. However, if you do this, we ask that you do one of two things. Either do the exact same thing to all 4 tires, or the tire that you just hit the upper limit on, press the little stem in the middle of the stem itself and start letting some air out. And once it gets back down to the right pressure, the horn will beep once to tell you to stop. If I hit my down arrow, I can see I've got a trip odometer. Now here's why my average fuel economy was running so high. 37.6 kilometers in 6 hours and 18 minutes. We're going to press and hold the OK button to reset this. We're going to go back one screen and reset our fuel economy now. If I press down on this screen, I get a speed limit sign. So this is our traffic sign recognition. As you pass by a speed limit sign, it will post a large version of it right here. But whether you're on this screen or not, it will post a smaller version off top here beside your time. We're going to go back to the top of that screen and go right. This is our radio info. Now from this screen, the only thing showing on here is our radio info, but I can change the source of my audio from here. So from this screen here, I have total control of everything to do with my audio, all with the push of my thumb over here while I'm driving. So we've already seen how I can change the volume and I can change my preset, but now if I press the OK button, I can pick and choose where I want the source of my audio to be. And we see right away that it's already changed for me. Our next screen over is our safety shield. Now, by default, I'm on the adaptive cruise screen because I had already turned my cruise on. And when it's on, we saw that it will show you lines. But if I press the down arrow, I'm now at the safety features. Now, my safety features will give me visual warnings to go with the audibles that happen with everything. You are going to be more focused on what's going on around you than you are the screen. But let's go over all your safety features. In the front, you have forward collision warning with automatic emergency braking and pedestrian detection. Your forward collision warning you will experience. I get it a couple times a week depending on driving circumstances. But if you're driving along, and let's say, for example, a car in front of you is turning onto a side street, then as you're driving and they're now doing 10 or 15 kilometers per hour around the turn, and you're doing 50 kilometers an hour approaching them, as soon as the radar in the front of your car gets within range, inside the vehicle, it will beep at you and it's going to flash a warning on the screen up here. The color of the warning is either going to be yellow or red depending on how close you are when this happens. Once they round the turn, nothing else happens. You continue on as if it never happened. The automatic emergency braking would be the next step in that process. So if they stopped partway around the turn, or maybe you're driving along and the car in front of you has hit the brakes, inside the vehicle it will beep at you and flash a warning on the screen. The gas pedal is going to push back against your foot a little bit, but you're never going to feel it because your foot's going to be lifting to go to the brake. If it does not get to the brake fast enough, your Sentra will start to apply the brakes for you to help avoid or minimize an oncoming collision. The moment your foot is on the brake, that whole system shuts down because you're in total control of the vehicle. Now, with that said, your pedestrian detection works the exact same way, except it's going to happen a whole lot faster. And instead of starting to apply the brake, it's going to fully apply the brakes for you. This is because the car in front of you that hit the brakes still has a little bit of forward momentum, while the person who walked out in front of you, presumably not paying attention, most likely on their cell phone, does not have any forward momentum, and we're hoping to avoid giving them any. You have blind spot indicators on this, which are on the inside of the vehicle. They work at 32 kilometers per hour or higher with a vehicle in motion beside you. So as you're driving along and you get a vehicle, let's say on the driver's side, your indicator here will light up a dull orange and stay lit up as long as part of that vehicle is in your blind spot. Now, while my indicator is lit up, whichever side it's on, let's again say the driver's side, and I signal to go left in this case, my indicator is going to start to flash and it will beep at me inside the vehicle. You have lane departure warning as well, which works at 60 kilometers an hour. And again, like the pedestrian detection, we're going to use the camera up here for your lane departure warning to read the lines on either side of you. And if you start to drift out of your lane, your steering wheel is going to vibrate. It's like hitting the rumble strips on the side of a highway, and that's because you have a haptic steering wheel. You also have rear cross traffic detection, so if you're backing out of a parking lot and there's anything coming at you from either side, within approximately 2 car lengths inside the vehicle, it will beep at you to let you know that you have something coming at you. And in that case, the blind spot indicator on that side of the vehicle will be flashing to let you know that the object coming at you is coming at you from that side. The final thing here, which we experienced earlier, is our rear sonar to go with the rear emergency braking. So the rear sonar, like so, will be beeping at you. Once whatever is behind you gets within the green hash marks on your backup camera, it'll start to slowly beep, and the closer you get, the faster that beeping will get. If you get down near the red hash marks where you're going to be almost into a steady tone and you're still backing up, your vehicle is going to fully apply the brakes approximately 1 foot away from whatever is behind you. This is done so that you avoid any type of collision back there. The last thing is your high beam assist. So with high beam assist, when your headlights are on auto, as they are now, and the headlights are on, what you will get is, and we'll see if we can't force this. So there's my headlights, and then there's my high beam assist. It looks like a little green bullet with an A in it. What this does now is at nighttime when you're driving along, your high beams will come on automatically when there's nothing in front of you and it's dark enough. The moment there's something in front of you, whether it's a car going the same direction or coming at you, then your high beams will automatically turn off. As soon as they're gone and there's nothing in front of you and it's dark enough, your high beams will automatically go back out again. That's your high beam assist. Our last screen over here is our settings, and I do encourage you to not be afraid to play with these. You cannot mess anything up. There is a factory reset on the very bottom. However, there's a couple settings I do like to change before a vehicle leaves the lot. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into driver assistance and make sure all of our safety features are turned on, because sometimes they are not, or somebody has turned them off for one reason or another. So I'm going to put the sonar there, which means it will show up on the screen here as well as the beeping that goes with it. Everything else was turned on which is fantastic. Now we're going to go down to vehicle settings and locking. By default, Nissan vehicles will automatically unlock when they turn off. We're going to change that so that the moment I shift into park, it will automatically unlock the vehicle. It is the preferred method for most people. I'm now going to hit the back button here to come back out of that setting and back again, and we're going to go into wipers, which are already set for speed dependent. Now there's another feature here called rear door alert. This is a neat little feature where if you have young children or an animal, you might want to turn this on. What this does is when you get in, you turn on the vehicle. If you have opened your back door to put anything in back there, it doesn't matter if it's a child, an animal, a bag, or anything else. As soon as you close that door and then hop in the driver's seat and turn on the vehicle, rear door alert is activated. And it will tell you that on the screen here. When you get to your destination and turn your vehicle off, if you do not open that door back up within 15 to 20 seconds to take out whatever you've put back there, your horn is going to start to beep to let you know that you've forgot something in your vehicle. It will beep 3 times in a row, then pause, and then beep 3 times in a row. This is typically off by default, but if you want to turn it on, I do recommend horn and alert. That way you get the full effect. Now there was another feature up here that I did notice that is turned on under the driver assistance, and we did not talk about it. Driver attention alert means if you hit that lane departure warning several times in a short time span, up on the screen here you will get what looks like a picture of a teacup or a coffee cup, and underneath it's going to ask if it's time for a break. This is just recognizing that you might not be as alert as you were starting out, and maybe it is time to have a quick break, stretch your legs, grab a tea or coffee, whatever you need to do, or you can simply press OK to ignore the message. The last thing I do want to go over is down here under maintenance, oil and filter. We're going to set this for 16,000 kilometers. That's right, your oil is due to be changed every 16,000 kilometers or once a year, whichever hits first. There is still recommended maintenance every 8,000 kilometers, which I do recommend, or every 6 months, whichever hits first. But your oil only has to be done once every 16,000 kilometers or once a year. Now I mentioned earlier the blank screen, so we're going to go into customize display for the main menu, and I want to come down and uncheck the blank screen by just pressing OK. I'm going to leave everything else turned on and hit the back button a few times, and now we're back at our main settings, and I'm going to press the right arrow to get back where we started. Couple last things to do with our key fob. So first, you have an intelligent key system. So if I look at the vehicle across from me, I see a button on the handle. The same thing is on your vehicle. That means that as long as I have my key fob on me, because it needs to be within approximately 3 feet of the door that you're at, one push on that button will unlock only the door that you're at. A second push unlocks the entire vehicle. Once you get out and all the doors are shut, one push will lock the whole thing. There's one of those buttons on the 2 front doors as well as on your trunk to lock or unlock that as well. Now, because it's a key fob, there is a battery inside of this, and it typically lasts 2 to 4 years depending on usage. Your very first indication that your battery is getting low is you'll hop in, you'll put your foot on the brake, you'll hit the start button, and up on the screen it'll pop up and say incorrect key ID. Don't panic, you still have your key on you. It just means that the key fob battery is getting low. That, or you may actually get a message that pops up that tells you key fob battery is getting low. Once that happens, just wait for the message to go away, try again, it should restart. But the more that you go without changing your battery, the more often you're going to have to wait for that message to go away. It will pop up multiple times until you hit the point that it just will not let you start. That, or if your battery is completely dead, on the back side there is a little switch that if I push it over and lift up, I have a key for the driver's side door. Once I get in, I'm going to take the key fob with my foot on the brake. I'm going to take the Nissan emblem and put it directly against the start button and use that to push the button in. Even though my key fob may be completely dead, the vehicle will start just due to the contact with the emblem, which has an NFC chip inside. Also with your key fob, on the bottom I have my panic button. Above that I have my trunk release, unlock, lock, And then to remote start your vehicle, you're going to press lock and then press and hold the top button for 5 seconds. Now with the Sentras, they can be a little fussy, so my recommendation is to press the lock twice and then press and hold the top button for 5 seconds. It should start your vehicle from up to 200 feet away. From there, it's going to run for up to 10 minutes. If you do not get in and engage the vehicle within 10 minutes, it will turn back off. You can do this again to remote start it again, or if as you near the 10-minute mark, you know you're not going to make it out in time, do the same thing. Hit the lock twice, hold the top button for 5 seconds. It will add an additional 10 minutes to the count from wherever you are in the count. So if it's been running for 8 minutes, it'll now run to the 18-minute mark. If you try and cheat and remote start it and then extend it again, it'll run for a total of 11 minutes. After you have remote started once with an extension or just remote started twice, you cannot do it again until you get in and drive the vehicle, and it needs to get to 30 kilometers per hour or higher in order to reset this. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead and restart the remote start process again. Congratulations again on your 2021 Nissan Sentra SV. I love this vehicle. The styling on it is amazing. It's very stylish. It's up to date, and the drive on it is just fantastic. Coupled with the amount of features that you get with this is going to make sure that you love this car for a long time. If you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can call, text, email, or stop into O'Regan's Nissan here at 60 Baker Drive in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. We'll do everything that we can to help you get through any questions that you have and make sure that you're familiar with your vehicle. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you when you're in for your regular maintenance. Feel free to stop by and say hello, and I look forward to working with you again when it's time for your next vehicle.